so pleased to welcome Kris Martin to ACI Alliance today. Kris may be the very first NASCAR driver to have a cochlear implant. Kris is a wonderful example of how following your goals, your persistence, and being positive can lead you to what you are ultimately looking for. And for Kris, that was being a race car driver. So we were so happy to have him with us to tell you his wonderful story. I'm Donna Sorkin. I'm the executive director of the American Cochlear Implant Alliance, and we're an organization that's dedicated to access to and awareness about cochlear implants. So with that, let's turn it over to Kris.
When my mom found out I was born deaf when I was about 14 months, and so my mom and my dad, my parents, tried to look program to help me to hear like hearing aids or cochlear implant program. But back in the day, 1992, we didn't have cochlear implant program in Toronto, like sick kid hospital, all that stuff. So, and we found one in London, Ontario, and I qualified for one day, and I passed, and so I done surgery cochlear at 7 or 8, and because my mom chose me to hear and speak. During school, but I'm not shy to tell them that it's okay if you ask me how a cochlear implant works. I can tell them how that works, and sometimes you have to face it. You know what I mean? You can't hide it, and my responsibility is to show them, like the teacher, how to wear the FM system in the classroom. And how to wear the microphone, because sometimes they don't know how that works. So I explain to them how to wear it, and I sit a front row in school all the time.
Right.
I'm using lips, and so I to understand school and classroom, what's going on. And also, we have to remind the teachers to pass around students in a microphone so I can hear what they're talking in the classroom. Because sometimes, for example, maybe they're afraid to come to me. So I have to go to them to make them comfortable. And I said, it's okay. It's just cochlear, born deaf. It's no different. Students wear glasses. So I explained to them how that worked, and then some students said, "Oh, that's pretty cool. I want to try one." But of course, you can't try one. But when you're born deaf, that's how this works. And I showed them London, and it's wow, that's cool technology. So sometimes students don't understand it, learn different things. For me, so it's pretty cool, and I feel good about it. And they were shocked, inspired, and wow, that's pretty cool stuff. So that's why I'm not shy to talk about it in the classroom, and it's okay to ask. You don't have to feel embarrassed. So because I just don't want them to afraid, to treat me different, like other normal students. So that's why I'm trying to teach them it's okay. My parents moved forward, like you asked me a question about cochlear, because my mom, she's very powerful person, and she wants to push me to able to talk, to able to hear. trouble how to communication in radio with the FM system. So we be fighting, and then until I found someone who worked for that hearing system. Have you heard from that company?
I have. Absolutely. I've used it. So that's great.
Yep. So I found someone, and he is amazing. His name is Pierre, and he's from Canada. Very good friend of mine, and we know each other almost 20 years. And I'm so glad I found him the right person because he has a cochlear as well. And so he knows how he's a tech guy, that technology, he can hook up, play guitar, he plays guitar, and he hooked up the bowl, he has special microphone. So I'm glad about him. So he helped me how to work um, radio communication with the FM system phone app. So I'm so much feeling better and not as stressed anymore because if I don't have this kind of technology with FM, there's no way for me to race. Of course, I understand safety comes first, right? So I went down to North Carolina, South Carolina,
Mhm.
and so I got in a car and I proved them just go out for practice so they can see how to communicate. So I did. They heard me talking, and I respect other cars and other drivers. And also, drivers is sure about, oh, this is a deaf driver. So how you talking to me now? So it's like school, students like, how he hear Eric. So I'm out practice and communicate. It was comfortable. It was a good day. So the last car said, okay, you've proven that. You're welcome. So I so because you have to prove them is, and I don't have to get a letter from Bonat.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, so Bonat to write a letter say I'm qualified to talk, communicate with FM system. So I sent it to Alaska. Alaska, okay, thumbs up. Come on in the race. I'm very impressed how South Star program for babies and children with cochlear implant and cochlear implant and education for school support the teacher, better equipping to help the baby students. And I'm so honored to working with them, help them different idea, help them to better program how to meet kids, you know, to learn better. And I'm so excited to working with them in New York City with South Star people.
Mhm.
And I met a couple of students, and they can't respond. How we do that? And some student asked me how we deal with the school. And of course, most popular question they ask is bullies. And so I said, we can do what I said to them. The first thing I said to them, bullying is hurt. Bones are hurt. Tell you what you want to do. Don't worry about other people. Don't worry about a parent, even the parents. Because I choose my own path, my own step. My parents did not make me go racing. When I start racing, they just follow me to support me. So I teach the kid, whatever you want to do, go for it. What are you waiting for? Go for it. Can't hurt to try. And you have to be part of it. You must have to be strong. It's okay to have a good day or a bad day. It's okay to feel that you will be successful if you keep trying to get better.